This review was made possible by contributions from viewers like you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my 5th anniversary! Another year has passed, which means it's once again time to play Which is Worse? But I feel the need to mix things up a little bit. I've been ripping on Tentaclino for the last 4 years now, but this time, I think we need to shift focus from Tentaclino to Transformers. And before anybody mentions the movie which shall not be named, which actually is worse than Transformers, I'm trying to give it as little attention as possible. I don't want to bring it up if I don't have to, okay? So, let's move on. Which is worse, Transformers or the Oogie Loves? The Oogie Loves is the epitome of brainless children's entertainment. 3 giant technicolored toddlers who are raised by a sentient window and vacuum cleaner run around town looking for balloons for their pillow friend, all the while singing and dancing and encouraging the child audience to sing and dance with them in a crowded movie theater and to talk to whatever strangers they just happen to come across. This movie is every bit as bad as it sounds, and no one is coming to its defense. Transformers, however, is the epitome of brainless preteen/teenager entertainment. It's targeted at an audience which is usually possessing of more sophisticated cinematic tastes, but it treats them with a kind of cynicism that suggests all they need to be happy are boobs and explosions. It's nonsensical, stupid, incoherent, insulting, but the director somehow amassed an army of fans who are all too eager to spread the gospel of, "It's got hot chicks and awesome special effects in it! Just shut up and enjoy it, you fucking nerd!" So, which is worse? Transformers. Which is worse, Transformers or Super Mario Bros.? Super Mario Bros. Is a very strange specimen, one which doesn't deserve the hate that it usually receives. Most people who hate it will tell you that it's nothing like the video game from which it's based, and normally I would be right there in the canon preservation camp, but Super Mario Bros. Is a freaking weird-ass concept. 2 plumbers go to a mushroom world where they jump on turtles and shoot fire out of their hands by touching magical flowers so they can rescue a princess who's been kidnapped by a giant spiky lizard? I'm sorry, but how would a more literal translation of that premise work exactly? Instead, they followed the story of 2 plumbers who got into another dimension where the dominant forms of life arose from dinosaurs and fungus in an evolutionary battle for dominance, and they have to save a princess from an evil dictator who descended from a giant spiky lizard. This story is equally weird, but it still makes a lot more sense than the original games. Even when I was a little kid, I understood the direction that this movie was taking, and I loved the Super Mario games growing up. The Super Mario Bros. Movie varies pretty wildly from its original source material, but at least it stuck to the basics of what the source material was. Transformers, on the other hand, took a perfectly serviceable story about 2 factions of robots fighting for resources and political power, and threw it right out the window in favor of the story of some simpering little nothing who's just looking for a hot babe to pork. So, which is worse? Transformers. Which is worse? Transformers or the Dog Who Saved series? Ah yes, where would we be without the Dog Who Saved Christmas? And Halloween. And summer. And Christmas Vacation. And Easter. And Hanukkah. And Groundhog Day. And Administrative Professionals Day. Okay, I made up those last couple of titles, but holy crap, it just keeps going! Who the hell is buying these movies? Who's telling these producers to keep giving us more of this crap? The whole series is about a former police dog apprehending the same 2 criminals over and over again, and subsequently saves whatever holiday is approaching in the meantime. I have no idea how they can keep milking this concept like they do, But here we are. A series of dumb, predictable movies which are so boring that not even the dog can convince us that they're worth watching. But you know what? At least you can tell that these movies were cheap to produce. The Transformers movies are every bit as stupid and teeth-grittingly annoying as the Dog Who Saved series, except all 5 movies cost almost $1 billion combined. $1 billion! How many mouths could have been fed with that money that was instead spent on a giant robot scrotum and Michael Bay's fetish for water sports? So, which is worse? Transformers. Which is worse? Transformers or Alpha and Omega Dino Digs? You know, it's funny. Remember what I said about Alpha and Omega Family Vacation? Alpha and Omega Family Vacation may very well be the worst sequel I've ever seen in my life. And no, Alpha and Omega 6, I'm not suggesting that you try to top it. Apparently Alpha and Omega has become self-aware because, good Lord Almighty, they topped it! I have no idea what the hell these filmmakers were smoking, but it can't be legal. A magical beam of light resurrects a couple of dinosaurs which dance in elaborate water show sequences in a pitiful attempt at conveying some kind of message about environmentalism? It's bad enough that the focus of these movies continues to be about the increasingly annoying wolf pups instead of their much more interesting parents, but seriously, what the fuck were these people on? This movie couldn't go 3 seconds without giving me something new to bitch about for 5 minutes at a time. These movies are trying to be this bad. But to this movie's credit, dear God, does it hurt to say that? At least it's only 42 minutes long. The Transformers movies are like the Alpha and Omega sequels in their attempt to cram in as much awful as possible, and they do it for over 2 hours at a time. Alpha and Omega 6 only feels like it takes forever to get through, while Transformers actually does take forever to get through. So, which is worse? Transformers. Which is worse? Transformers or Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice? My God, this movie was terrible. Nothing about the story makes any sense. Lex Luthor is nothing like Lex Luthor. The motivations behind Batman and Superman fighting each other are shaky at best, and it completely misses the point that Batman and Superman are supposed to be friends. Yes, they are very different in their attitudes and methods, but they have nothing but the utmost respect for each other. Regardless of what brings them to blows, that is the tragedy behind Batman and Superman fighting. But no, go ahead and make an entire movie devoted to them fearing and hating each other, even though they're both supposed to be smart enough to realize that they aren't a threat to each other. That's fine. Transformers suffers from his characterization as well, turning Bumblebee into a dog, Starscream into a simpering lackey, Megatron into a snarly monster, and Optimus Prime into a homicidal maniac. Batman vs. Superman has Supes constantly questioning whether or not he should be saving people, and Batman is increasingly paranoid and more comfortable with killing his enemies, and while both characterizations are wrong, at least I can kind of understand where the director was coming from in going in this direction. Michael Bay with the Transformers? I have no idea why he wanted to do what he did with these characters. So, which is worse? Transformers. And thus concludes one more installment of Which is Worse. Feel free to comment below about whether or not you enjoyed this direction. And as always, I would like to propose a toast to the greatest audience that a guy like me can have. I love you guys. Thank you so much for making the show what it is. See you later.
You know there's something you should know, so I'm gonna tell you so. Don't sweat it, forget it, enjoy the show. Working all day, now it's time to unwind. Kick back, relax, take a load off your mind. I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes. We'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Just leave your troubles at the door, leave your worries behind. Leave the rest up to me, you're gonna like what you find. I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes. We'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time. It's party time.
Subscribe, like, follow.